What's going on, everyone? Thanks for clicking on the video, and today we're going to be taking a look at Retro City Rampage DX on the Nintendo Switch. Now, as usual, I'm going to be showing you guys exactly how it runs in TV mode, and I'm also going to be showing you how it runs in tabletop mode as well. So sit back, relax, and let's find out if you should buy it. When it comes to presentation, Retro City Rampage DX pretty much blows it right out of the park. I mean, the game was in development for over 12 years by a single guy, and it really shows that a lot of care went into it. But it's been about 5 years since the release of the original, and 3 years since the release of DX under pretty much every platform under the sun. No, seriously guys, this game came out on DOS. Well, suffices to say, there's a chance that you might have already checked it out in some iteration or some shape or form. However, we now have a full release of it on Switch, running at a glorious 1080p 60 frames per second in TV mode and 720p 60 frames per second in handheld mode. And I have to say, this is definitely the definitive version of the game. For those of you unfamiliar with the game's story and sort of hook, well, let me give you a little rundown. Retro City Rampage DX is essentially the demastered version of Saints Row. It's what the game would have been like had it come out on the Super Nintendo back in the early 90s. I know that a lot of people have been comparing it to Grand Theft Auto, and it very much is like GTA in that it boasts a pretty impressive open world, except retrofied of course, and you get to run around like a madman stealing cars and basically just being a gigantic menace to society. But the reason that I'm comparing it to Saints Row over GTA is because of just how ridiculously out there this game is. And most of the time, that's a good thing, because it's filled with some of the best callbacks to the 80s and 90s that I've actually seen in a video game. I mean, throughout the entire game's story mode, you're essentially working for Doc from Back to the Future.
Great Scott! Great Scott!
Great Scott!
I know, this is heavy.
And you end up fighting something that looks exactly like RoboCop in the third mission. But there's a ton of little nods like that throughout the game's 60 story missions. The city is interactive, but it's limited. You can't go into every building, but there are shops, minigames, and a bunch of collectibles to keep you busy while you're playing. There are also arcade challenges available for quick pick up and play action, and I actually think that that's one of the best parts of the game. They're a ton of fun to play, and they're really easy to just jump into when you have a couple minutes to play and you're in the mood to blow some stuff up. The controls have never felt better for this game on Switch, no matter how you choose to play it. Whether you're using split Joy-Con, the grip, or Pro Controller, the game adapts very nicely to the Switch's many different playstyles. However, driving around the city and not getting aggroed by the cops is pretty much next to impossible unless you're driving like a grandma. And I definitely recommend you take advantage of the lock-on system that was added with the original release of DX. Playing the game on the TV is great and it looks gorgeous on the big screen, but I honestly think that this is the type of game that you're gonna want to play primarily in handheld mode. Not because it runs any better or worse when it's undocked, but just because of how perfect this game is for some on-the-go quick fix action. And that's really what this game is all about when it comes down to it. It's about just jumping in for a quick mission or two and then jumping right out. So at the end of the day, is Retro City Rampage DX worth picking up on Switch? Well, if you've played it before and you didn't really care for it, you're not really going to find anything new here. This is essentially the same game that was released on 3DS 3 years ago. However, that being said, I personally think it's a lot of fun, and I definitely think that you should pick it up if you haven't already given it a shot. So let me know what you guys think about Retro City Rampage DX. Are you thinking about picking it up, or have you played the previous versions before and you've just kind of moved on? Join me in the comments below and let me know. Also, if you enjoyed the video, please remember to like it and subscribe for more Switch videos just like this one. Thanks, and have a great day.